Yeah?
See you.
See you, Dad. Love you.
Have a good day at work.
I will. Hello everyone, I am back with another video. As promised, here are the things that I kind of acquired over the past few months. Spent very minimal amounts of money here. This is stuff that I've gotten from friends and family. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and share that. And let me know what you think. The new console is what I'm going to kind of show first because that kind of leads into something else. I actually did a trade with a very, very, very good friend of mine here on YouTube, Ben, CC10 Gaming. Just a tremendous dude. We've actually been talking a lot outside of YouTube, you know, just kind of texting back and forth about, you know, what's going on in our lives, which is really cool. So he's a really top-notch dude, and he sent me some awesome games, and I sent some games his way as well. But the games are to be played on this new console that I got, so let's go ahead and show that right now. Alright, before I show the new console, I want to preface this by saying that, you know, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, I've really kind of gotten out of the whole retro collecting thing just because I don't have enough time to play the current games that I have, you know, the 360, the 3DS, the Wii, the PS3, and don't even get me started on the next generation. I'm not even going to take that leap for a number of years, but this console I wanted to get for a few specific reasons. You know, there are two probably categories of games that, if you've watched my channel for a while now, you'll know that I love to death. One of them being classic cartoony platformers. You know my love of Disney, and I love playing those games that were on the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64 even, and even the Game Boy Color. Some of those platformers that were made as a result of a lot of those movies. And you can't really get those games these days for current consoles. You can, but a lot of those licensed games, you know, the good ones are few and far between. You know, Capcom, the games that they developed back in the day were just terrific. And now you see nothing more than, you know, Super Duper Ooper Street Fighter Blow Your Pants Off Edition 4, whatever the heck they're publishing or, you know, developing these days. You don't see those awesome platformers anymore. And so, you know, that's one category of games that I love. And then the second, of course, being Lord of the Rings games. Goodness gracious, I will defend those games till the day I die. But I got this console for relatively cheap. I didn't pay a whole lot of money. And the successor to it actually is coming out relatively soon, or so we think, the Retron 5. So the console that I bought was the Retron 3, and for the sole purpose of really the Sega Genesis, because I never played a Sega Genesis beyond my next door neighbor. He had, you know, Sonic and Mortal Kombat and things of that sort, and I would occasionally play those, but that was the extent of my experience playing the Genesis. And the only reason why I wanted to get the Retron 3 was, one, to save shelf space, because I don't want to bring out my Super Nintendo, my NES, and have all those consoles there. This, you know, while the sound and certain things are off, I'm not super nitpicky. I really could not care less about the sound quality being pitch perfect or the graphics and everything just being pristine. Like, I'm playing this guy on my 32-inch flat screen TV. Like, that shows you how much I care about the quality and the crispness of the graphics or whatever. I just want to play the games. That's it. And the games that I want to play are those cartoony platformers, the Tasmanian Devils, the Ren and Stimpy's, the Simpsons, the games that are like a dime a dozen, you know, on eBay or whatever. I'm not after the Secret of Manas, the Chrono Triggers, the Earthbounds, because the prices you're paying for those games are just nothing short of absurd. It's crazy, so I'm not after that. But the Retron 3, I've already played a few Super Nintendo games. I played through the Great Circus Mystery Mickey and Minnie Mouse, which was excellent, and then the Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse, and then what else did I play through? Toy Story. I played through that as well. I think when I was home for Easter that weekend, I just like sat down and powered through some of those games, which was just a blast. So yeah, those are the games that I love playing. Those are the games that if I find them, you know, in the wild, I might pick up for a buck or two, but I'm not like actively seeking to like just fill my shelf with a bunch of games that I've never played and that I never will play. But, you know, if I have a collection of 10 to 15, you know, gems that I consider gems, you know, like The Lion King, Aladdin, those types of games, then, you know, that's awesome to me. Those are the types of games that I love to play. So, I'll leave that at that. So going along with the Retron 3, I did do a trade with my buddy. I can't even, I'm sorry, this is going to be so bad, but I can't even remember if I already mentioned this or if I had to cut this out of the video, but a tremendous friend of mine here on YouTube, Ben, CC10 Gaming, we did a trade not too long ago. Just an awesome, awesome guy. We actually communicate outside of YouTube. You know, we text back and forth just to see how we're doing, you know, what's going on in our lives, which is just, it's so great, you know. And he's really just a top-notch guy. And so he had some Sega Genesis games that he was no longer wanting, and he sent them my way, and I sent some games his way, which was really, really cool. But the first thing, he actually did a contest way back when, and one of the games, or the game that I won in that contest was actually Pandora's Tower, which is the third game in the Operation Rainfall kind of trilogy that I didn't have, so that's really sweet. Thank you again, Ben, for this. I've not even played it. It's still sealed, if you can see. I actually have not played any of the Operation Rainfall games. You can see the last story here, and Xenoblade's over there. So, I've not played any of them, which is only telling of my backlog, which is why I need to stop. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. But anyways, the Sega Genesis games that he sent me, nothing rare here, again. I'm only after those games that are just cartoony, side-scrolling platformers, beat-em-ups, things of that nature. So the first one we have here is Tasmania, Escape from Mars. Tasmania. This one this is one of the ones I'm most excited about, and that's Quackshot starring Donald Duck. There was a game that, with Donald Duck that I believe is on the PlayStation, the N64, and the Dreamcast. I only played on the N64 that I loved back in the day, and that was Donald Duck going quackers, I believe. Another really fun game. At least I thought so. But this one I'm really looking forward to. Aladdin, which I've heard is the superior version to the Super Nintendo. I have it on the Super Nintendo, and that's great as well, but I got it on the Sega Genesis. Ren and Stimpy, Stimpy's Invention. This is... Yeah, I'd say this is probably the one I'm most excited to play, and that's Mickey Mania, The Timeless Adventures of Mickey Mouse. Now, I know Castle of Illusion is probably the superior Mickey Mouse game on the Genesis, but, you know, maybe I'll get that down the road. Rocket Knight Adventures, and then Spider-Man X-Men. So, Ben, thank you again for those games. I really, really do appreciate it, my man. Again, if you've not checked out CC10 Gaming, definitely check out his channel. He hasn't put up a video in a while. But, you know, based on what we've talked about, it sounds like he might be making a return to YouTube in the future. I don't know, but he does have a tremendous backlog of videos that you should definitely check out. Really good stuff. So, the next thing I guess I'll get into is, you know, as I said, I'm really not getting into retro collecting anymore. I actually unloaded a tremendous amount of my collection at Level 1 Games, which, again, I may have said in the beginning of the video, but this video has been all over the place. So, you know, I got rid of a ton of stuff, and I got a tremendous amount of store credit from trading in all of that stuff. And with that, I got a few things. I still have like $80-something of store credit left, so I have to go back there and spend that. But I did get a few things that, you know, I kind of really was kind of after. The first thing, one thing I forgot to mention about the Retron 3, and the reason why I wanted this system so much is because you can actually use your first-party controllers, you know, the NES, Super Nintendo, and Genesis controllers for the system. You don't have to use the ones that come with it. And these things are actually no better than paperweights because they're like wireless, but they're completely unresponsive and just really, terrible controllers. So I I already have 2 Super Nintendo controllers and 2 NES controllers, so I'm not worried about that. But I don't have any Genesis controllers. So at that store, he does sell, you know, I guess these are like third-party Genesis controllers, so I bought one of those. And it's complete in the box, everything, which is really cool. Brand new. And then he's completely trying to get rid of all of his DVDs. And so I picked through them, and the only one I found, his DVD like sets, like TV sets and things, are like $5 a piece, I think it was. And so I couldn't pass this up. Lost Season 2. I have Season 1, now I have Season 2. Hopefully I can get the rest down the road. One of my favorite TV shows of all time. Just wonderful series. Really, really good. You know, there's, of course, lots of speculation about the ending as to was it as good as it could have been, but that's a debate for another day. Then we have the Wii Motion Plus attachment here. I don't have any of the Wiimotes that have this built in, so I was happy to get this attachment so that I can play Skyward Sword hopefully this summer, because I've had that game for quite some time and I've not played it yet, and I really, really want to. So, yeah, the Wii Motion Plus attachment. And then don't judge me here. I actually got into yoga quite a bit when I injured my shoulder earlier last year. Or I should say late last year. And so I got Wii Fit. I don't have the balance board here. It's around here somewhere. But it was like $20 for, Wii Fit and the balance board, which is awesome. I've not had a chance to do this yet, but I mean, this is literally, I think, the best-selling game on the Wii. Maybe right behind Wii Sports, of course, because that came with the console. But this is like one of the probably top 10 best-selling games of all time, which is crazy because when it first came out, it was like $90. But great stuff there. I also did a few trades on GameTeasy. Got Halo Wars, an excellent RTS game from what I've heard. I've been really in the mood for a real-time strategy game. So hopefully this kind of fills that little void. Fight Night Round 3. Not a game I typically pick up, but this is actually really, really fun. And this really showcased the graphics at the time it came out. I'm not sure if you've played it, but I just remember in old Game Informer magazines, this alongside like Metal Gear Solid 4 for the PS3 were like some of the, like two of the big games that they were like showing, like, wow, like look how realistic these graphics look. And it still holds up really well today. It actually looks really sweet. So it's actually a really fun game. The final trade that I did on GameTeasy was for, I don't know if I showed this in a previous video or not, but that is Shin Megami Tensei 4 for the 3DS. Now, dungeon crawlers are not exactly my forte, but when I played Etrian Odyssey 4, the Legend of the Titan, I believe is the subtitle on that one, I was blown away. I remember when I was on my spring break trip last year with my family, that was the only game I played because it was just so addicting and the music was just terrific. I loved it. So, and I've heard that this is a very accessible entry in the SMT series because I played SMT 2, and that was actually one of the games I traded to Ben because I couldn't get into it. Innocent Sin. It was just, I don't know, those games just really have a niche following, and I'm just not a part of it. And, they just don't satisfy my gaming itch, I guess, as far as RPGs go. But I've heard that this is a much different entry, much more accessible entry, and for many people it was their game of the year last year. So I definitely want to at least give this game a try. And I got it for less than $30, and this came with the soundtrack still sealed, the little guide that comes with it, and of course the game on GameTeasy. So hardly ever played, which is really cool. That's why I love that site. Next, for my birthday, my dad and my sister just went all out. It was just ridiculous. My sister, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that Frozen, the Disney was it Pixar? No, it wasn't. It was strictly Disney. I'm very against CGI Disney. I don't, say what you will, but I don't know. I grew up watching classic Disney, like the Snow Whites, the Aladdins, things like that were hand-drawn animation. And, so I'm just very hesitant to kind of watch some of these newer Disney movies, but, I reluctantly went and saw Frozen with my sister and was just blown away. I kid you not, it is on my top 5 Disney movies of all time at this point. She got me the Disney Blu-ray DVD combo as well as the soundtrack. I'm that obsessed with it. It is just that good. I think it is. If you don't, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I understand that, but for me personally, I loved it. Next up are the two things that my dad got me, which are really heavy. No, they're not really that heavy, but they are pretty thick. And that is the Walking Dead Compendium 1 and 2. I've started reading the first, and now I finally understand where people are coming from when they say that the comic is much more intense than the show, which I guess it isn't in some respects because, with the TV show, you actually see the color and the graphic violence and, the blood everywhere and stuff like that. And in a comic, obviously, it's not in motion. It's more just like, I mean, it's a comic book, so you know what I'm trying to say here, but still very intense and very vulgar as far as the language. It is very, very, very dark, but very good as well. I'm about halfway through the first compendium. They've made it to the prison and everything. It's just really, really good stuff. And there's some character relationships in the comics that didn't happen in the series that I honestly just can't even fathom happening in the TV series because it would just be so awkward. I'm not going to spoil anything for those that maybe haven't read the comics, but some characters that you would never think would kind of get together in this, which is just really strange, but really good stuff nonetheless. And the next pile of stuff is just a bunch of movies, so if you're not into that kind of stuff, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go ahead and show those now. Okay, I don't believe I showed these movies, but I'm going to go through them rather quickly. First one is V for Vendetta. I've never seen this. One of my favorite, I don't want to say favorite movies, well, I'll say favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movies. Many people will probably say, like, Rusty, what is wrong with you? But this actually is a really, really good movie. I was blown away at the time I'd seen it. But, I mean, I'm really into classic literature anyways. I took an, advanced placement, like, literature class in high school. And I loved, like, the Beowulfs, the Odyssey, things of that nature. And so I guess it's only telling that I like this movie. And that's Romeo and Juliet. This is actually really good. If you haven't seen it, give it a shot. It's actually really, really good. Pretty violent. It's a much darker take on, the classic story. And then we have some Blu-rays here. Pulp Fiction, a Tarantino movie I have not seen, which is crazy because Kill Bill 1 and 2 are two of my favorite movies of all time. Star Trek Into Darkness, another excellent movie. We have Kronk's New Groove and The Emperor's New Groove. Haven't seen Kronk's New Groove yet, but Emperor's New Groove is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. I don't know if it was in my top 10 or not. I honestly can't remember. If it's not 10, it's like 11, because it's really, really funny. David Spade and John Goodman, I believe? Yeah, I believe it's John Goodman. Yeah, good stuff. Another Leonardo DiCaprio movie, but I haven't seen it yet, and that is The Great Gatsby. I've heard mixed things. Dustin Christ, I believe, liked it quite a bit, if I'm not mistaken, and I appreciate his opinion when it comes to movies especially, so definitely need to give this a watch. One of my favorite Disney movies, I know this was in my top 10, this is certainly one that a lot of people either haven't seen or maybe just don't even like, and that is The Sword and the Stone. The animation is very old looking. You can definitely tell that this is a hand-drawn animation, but I love this movie. Some of the songs in this are just just amazing. Merlin and the little owl, I forget his name. I can't remember, but Wart is like the main guy, King Arthur, all that good stuff. So, awesome movie. Another one that I've not seen. I probably should have watched all these movies prior to this so I could give my opinions, but why would I do that? That would make sense. Tales of Vesperia First Strike. I played the game. That counts for something, right? One of my favorite games of last generation. No doubt, an excellent RPG, wonderful story, amazing music, and just a beautiful art style. And I know that's going to transition here to this movie. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So if you have, Mike, specifically, how is this movie? Let me know. A Studio Ghibli movie I've not seen yet, From Up on Poppy Hill. I've also heard really good things about this, but again, I've not had a chance to watch this one either. We have a series of Disney movies here. Some of them I haven't seen, which is kind of surprising. The Great Mouse Detective, which many people hold this in pretty high regard. They say it's kind of like an overlooked hidden gem, if you will. I've not seen this one, but I've heard kind of mixed things, so let me know. One of my favorites from back in the day, this is definitely one of the older ones, and that's Bambi. Excellent, excellent Disney movie. Dumbo, another one I surprisingly have not seen. This is one that many people hold in high regard. I believe Paige, Femtrooper, I think this was in her top 10, so I definitely need to give this a watch. I'm very against sequels, and especially animated sequels, because they're usually straight to DVD. They're trash. This one is certainly an exception. This movie is terrific. It's the sequel to my favorite Disney movie of all time, and that is The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. Just an awesome movie. I have nothing else to say. If you've not seen it, please, please, please watch this movie. Also very dark. You know, you have like people out for, you know, like Scar's, I guess, lineage basically out for revenge, so to speak, and really, really awesome stuff here. One of the Disney movies I didn't have on DVD that I got on GameTeasy through a trade. Actually, I got these next two movies from GameTeasy. Beauty and the Beast, one of my top 5 favorite Disney movies of all time, rightfully so. Terrific movie as well. And then finally, we have a Pixar movie that will definitely be making my top 10, and that is A Bug's Life. I did not have this on DVD. And this is actually the Blu-ray DVD combo, which is nice. But excellent movie. And I, again, paid nothing for these movies because I was just unloading stuff in my collection that I just didn't want anymore. So really good stuff. This video has gone on way too long, and I apologize for that. But I want to thank you guys for watching. And yeah, I got a lot of stuff here. But again, I paid like next to nothing for this stuff because some of his stuff was generated to me. Generated? What? Donated to me generously, or given to me as gifts for my birthday. So tremendously grateful for that. And then, of course, Ben, he gave me some of those games as well, those Genesis games, which I'm really looking forward to giving a try here over the summer. So, a lot of great games to play. I have tons of gift cards, too, from, like, my birthday and Christmas and stuff. So, I'm actually making it a goal to not spend any money out of pocket this summer, you know, on new games. Because, one, there's no games that I really want to buy coming out. And two, I don't need any new games. So, I'm just going to be using, you know, those gift cards to get some of the games that I haven't played, like BioShock Infinite and such. But other than that, I'm not going to be buying any new games. So, let's just leave that at that. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. I do have plenty of more videos planned. So, please look forward to that. And let me know in the comment section below. As always, you know, what have you guys been playing lately? What are you looking forward to? Anything at E3 that you're wanting to see? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching.